Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com, and in today's video we are going to have a look at how to sell SEO services as an agency. So let's get started. First, we will have a look at the B2B sales process. B2B sales process is a little bit different from B2C sales process, and you know that whenever you sell services as an agency, you are going to sell to businesses and not consumers. So you cannot approach the problem with the same marketing or advertising method as you would approach it for a B2C product. So when you look at the B2B sales process, the first point is that branding and positioning is more important than B2C because here multiple decision makers are involved. So whenever a company is buying your services, here it's not just one person who is going to make the buying decision, but there will be other people. There will be one person who has the majority weightage. Like for example, if you are selling SEO services, it could be the digital marketing manager or the chief marketing officer of the company who is making the major decision whether to buy from you. But here you can see there will be other people involved in the company such as CEO or co-founder who might want to approve this particular purchase before you can go ahead and sell your services. So here, unless the other people such as co-founders know about your brand or heard about your brand, it becomes very difficult to actually pass the sale because everyone has to say an yes so that it passes. So that's the main difference between B2B and B2C. Whenever it is B2C, even if it is a very costly product such as laptop or an iPhone, whenever an individual makes a buying decision, it's usually just him or her who needs to be convinced that this is a good product, and then he or she can go ahead with the buying decision. But it's not the same for B2B. So there is something called account based marketing. So here you have to do ABM instead of mass media marketing. See, account based marketing is basically if you have one particular account in mind which you want to convert. An account is basically a client which you want to convert into your client. Then you have to do some marketing right in front of the decision makers of that business. It could be doing some very precise targeting using LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook ads, or you could actually go ahead and do some outreach, send them some pamphlets or booklets or case studies, or you could even go ahead and engage with these decision makers by liking their tweet, replying to their tweet. So basically they have to know that you exist and you are an SEO expert before they can go ahead with the sale. So this is called account based marketing, where the marketing activities are very focused at a few people who are the decision makers who will give you the sale. The entire conversion is sales driven, where you have to do sales meetings, sales calls, and then the conversion happen. Unlike B2C, where you can do marketing automation such as email marketing automation and social media marketing automation, where the sale can happen automatically through marketing, here the actual conversion is sales driven and there is a lot of human effort involved in this. And also you have to note that when you are selling B2B services, not just for SEO services, but any kind of B2B product or service, the sales cycle can be anywhere from 2 weeks to 10 weeks. So here you get in touch, you then convince multiple stakeholders in the company, and it might take up to 2 weeks for the sale to close, or it might take up to 10 weeks. And in very complex products and services, it usually takes something like 6 months to 1 year to close a single sale. But the longer the sales cycle, the more complex the product is, but the sale value will also be higher. So that's how B2B marketing works. And understanding how B2B sales and marketing works is very important before you go ahead and sell your services as a consultant or an agency. So how to identify the right clients and how to approach them, we will talk about that. So B2C companies benefit more from SEO than B2B companies. So as I said, when it comes to B2B companies, when they have a product or service, the conversion is more sales driven than marketing driven. So here when you are selling SEO services to a company, this company has to be a B2C company, right? So that's when they will benefit the most from doing SEO for their pages. I'm not saying that B2B companies will not benefit, but the amount of benefit that B2B companies will get will be a little bit less than what you can do for B2C companies. For example, when I was working as a digital marketing manager with Practo, I was able to bring a lot of value to the table in terms of traffic, and there was a lot of scope for work at Practo in terms of SEO than, for example, when I worked at Exhotel or Razorpay, which are B2B companies, where the marketing team was smaller and the sales team was actually bigger than the marketing team, where most of the new clients actually came through the sales team and not marketing. So when you are selling the SEO services, you have to target B2C companies and not B2B companies, so that that's where your maximum leverage and value you can add is available. So you can target e-commerce companies or product-based companies. They are more likely to sign up for SEO services than publications, because when you look at e-commerce or product-based companies who are actually selling products, they will have high value per visitor, because these visitors are actually buyers, than publications, because publications will have readers and readers are not buyers, so the value per visitor is very less. Like for example, when you look at a company like Your Story or Entrepreneur Magazine, so here the amount of value you can add to these companies with SEO is a little bit less, because an increase in traffic will not directly get that much increase in revenue, because they are monetizing their visitors through display ads, and when they are monetizing through display ads, the revenue per visitor is also less. So target companies who are e-commerce companies, maybe companies who have their e-commerce store online, or product based companies, and again this should be B2C companies, and here there is a lot of value you can add. So that's how you should identify and approach clients. So first we will look at what are the challenges with SEO services as an agency. You might ask why personally I have not started an SEO agency in spite of knowing so much about SEO. The reason is there are some challenges which I don't want to take, but at the same time there are also benefits in running an agency with SEO services that we will look at it in the next slide. But in this slide, let's look at what are the challenges. So one of the biggest challenge for agencies is that clients will move away for various reasons, even if you are providing a good service. So you are providing a good service, a client signs up, he is with you for 3 months or 6 months, and then he says that I don't want your services anymore, and then he goes away. This keeps happening no matter what kind of service business that you run. This is an inevitable truth. So if you have put a lot of personal effort in going ahead and signing up a client, he might just go away after a few months. So you need people management skills if you are providing services and not just consultancy. If you are a consultant, then you can be a single person delivering content to these companies in terms of what they need. But if you are going to run an agency business where you are actually providing services, then you have to have people management skills. So that is a drawback for people who are introverts and who for people who do not have people management skills. However, if you are someone who can manage people and organize different employees and actually delegate them some work and get things done, then this challenge actually becomes an advantage. So frequent client meetings, and sometimes the hard truth is that you will end up getting dumb clients as well, who will ask you very stupid questions, and this is the reality. I am not making this up. You can go and ask agency owners. Sometimes these clients are not so intelligent, and they will call for frequent meetings, and it will be very hard to explain them things. So you have to be very careful who you accept. Just because someone is paying you money doesn't mean that you have to accept them. So what are the benefits of running an SEO agency? Now we will look at that. Now that we have had a look at challenges, let's look at the benefits as well, because there are a lot of benefits in running an SEO agency. You can actually get very big wins for your clients with very simple tweaks if you get the right client. For example, one of my friend runs an agency, and he took a consulting on an agency project. He took a client, and this client was a college, and he had to do SEO for this college website, and the person who built the college website actually put the same SEO title and meta tags for all the pages on the website. And that is something that you do not see in other areas such as tech area, where people have websites, but there is a huge offline industry where people have outsourced their website creation, and some website design agency has created the website with no knowledge of SEO. So here, as soon as you look at it, there is plenty of opportunity available right there. So a lot of untapped opportunities, right? Mainly in the offline business section. You can target clients like people in the food industry, construction business, textile business. So most of the people do not know technology. They do not know anything about SEO or search. and what they have done is that they have outsourced it to some agency who does not know about SEO. This will be like web design agencies and not marketing agencies. So they will just create a website which is not SEO friendly. So here these businesses are actually making good revenue, and sometimes they are getting good traffic to their websites, and they are even advertising their websites online using paid advertising. So here these opportunities are large. No matter which city that you live in, whether it's a tier 1 or a tier 2 city, you will always have plenty of opportunities around you like this. And another benefit of running an SEO agency or any digital marketing agency is that you could earn 5x to 10x of your job salary, because here you are going to leverage your time, you are going to leverage your skills with more employees, and you are going to have disproportionate profits than just trading your skills for money for a certain time like in a job. So now that we have had a look at the challenges and opportunities, now let's look at how you can get a client and how you can get to the first meeting. Because the first meeting is the most important. Once you get a meeting with a potential client, once you convince him that they need your SEO services, then you have pretty much done the sale. So first you have to position yourself as an SEO expert. So personal branding here is very important. But again, you don't need personal branding on a scale like for example on a scale like I do or many of the influencers do. You don't need to consistently write blogs and write so many articles and do so much on personal branding. Since this is B2B sales and since you are doing account based marketing, all you need to do is have a few articles in reputed publications such as Your Story, Entrepreneur, or Forbes, or write a small ebook or write a few blogs on your own blog, and then do account based marketing where you tweet to them directly, or you email them the article who is the decision maker. And once they see you as someone who is writing articles, then instantly some level of expertise is on their mind. They perceive that you are an expert. So you can self-publish a small booklet or a book about SEO, and that will position you as an expert in SEO. You can do some free consulting to build case studies and publish it on the blog. Case studies are the ultimate proof, but when you are getting started, you might not have any case studies. So you can do free consulting to get the case study first. And once you have a proof that you helped a certain business increase search traffic to their website and help them increase their revenue, you can put it as an article or you can put it as a PDF case study and send it to your potential client. And then that will position you as an expert, because unless they perceive you and your agency as an SEO expert, they will not give you the contract. So continuing with this, how to get to the first meeting, you can tweet out SEO improvement suggestions to company handles in Twitter and the CEO, and they are more likely to respond. Because don't send them an email, directly tweet to them. If you see some SEO issues on their site, directly tweet to them. And since you are tweeting them and the company as well, what happens is that the co-founder or the other employees in the company will notice that the CEO is not responding, and that will not look good on him. So here he is forced to reply to the tweet and engage with you, which is not the same with the email, because he or she can ignore the email. You can send out an SEO audit report using Moz, SEMrush, or Ahrefs. We have already discussed about these advanced tools, and you can generate a report such as a SERP report which tracks all the titles and all the URLs. You could come up with broken link report or things like that. You could come up with a toxic link report. You can come up with keyword list, do some keyword research and tell them that you have so many opportunities to rank for all these keywords, and why don't you go ahead and seek our help in doing it. So all these things you can do for free. You can hire an intern or an employee who can do this for you, because these activities might be time consuming to do it for several companies even without getting paid from them. So we will talk a little bit about how to price your services. If you have better branding and if you have proof of results, then you can basically have a command over higher pricing, and you can say that you are the best in the market in a particular city, and then you can say that this is our price, it's very high, but you can still go for it because we are the best. So that comes with branding and proof of results over time. Do not commoditize your services. In the sense, do not look at how much you are spending from your side for these services, and do not put a margin on top of it, because that will make it like a commodity. So do not look at your expenses and charge them on a margin. You have to charge based on what's the value for them. So if they are paying you $10,000 a year, will they make more than $10,000 a year in revenue? So that's how your pitch should be as well. So when you are approaching an SEO client, don't tell them that we are going to increase your traffic. Tell them that don't look at our expenditure, the money that you are paying to us as an agency fees, as an expenditure, but as an investment. Because if you are paying us $10,000 for all these SEO services, your revenue is going to be $20,000 more from what the revenue that you are making. So it's more like an investment than an expense. That's how you have to position your product. And you should also see how much it will be worth to the client. So if you have a certain set of services, let's say there are two clients, one is client A and one is client B, and let's say client A makes a revenue of $100,000 a month and client B makes a revenue of $1 million a month. So here the similar set of services which takes the same resources and time at your end, when you are approaching client A, you might want to do it at a cheaper price, because let's say you are going to increase the traffic by 20% and increase the revenue by 20% because of your SEO services. Here for client A, you will be increasing their revenue from $100,000 a month to $120,000 a month. So here there is a limitation to how much you can charge for the same service. But however, if you are approaching client B is already making $1 million a month in revenue. So your SEO services, if it helps them increase their traffic by 10%, then you are going to help them make extra $100,000 a month. So if they are making extra $100,000 a month, go ahead and charge them something like $30,000 a month or $40,000 a month, where client A, you cannot charge $40,000 a month, because all you are going to do is that help them increase $20,000 revenue, right? So you have to charge based on what's the value for the client and not what your cost is. So that's how you have to think about it. So basically, people say that the best way to price your agency services is that how much is the maximum price you can actually get away by charging the client and still providing them enough value so that they are not pissed off. So that is the amount you should be fixing, which is the maximum possible pricing that you can get away with, right? Still providing them value, not in terms of providing less value and charging more, but that's what it's worth to the client, right? So that's how you have to charge your services. So another idea to reach out to these people is email outreach. And what I have done is that I have drafted a mail which you can copy paste. It's like a template, and you can put in your own filler details there, like your own name, company, and your targets company, prospects company. You can put it there and send out this email to all these clients. So you can download this particular email template right here on this page below this video. So what you can do is that go ahead and send the email to many different prospective clients, even without doing the audit first, telling them that we have found out a lot of SEO improvements on your site and we would like to send them a report. So every website will have broken links or some problems on their website when it comes to SEO. Even my website has some broken links which I am yet to fix, right? So every website will have some broken links or some SEO errors. So what you can do is that just send out the mail straight away saying that we have created a report where we have a lot of SEO improvement suggestions for you, and if you need it, please reply. So why I am asking you to do this is that, first of all, not every client or prospective client is going to reply to your email, right? Only maybe 10% or 20% are going to reply, which means that if you are sending 10 emails, 1 or 2 people is going to actually get back to you saying that yes, I am interested. So here, don't waste time in creating SEO audit reports for all the 10 clients. Instead, send out as many emails as you can for prospective clients, and then if they reply that yes, I am interested in getting this report, then go ahead and create those reports and send it to them. So you can also tweet out to potential decision makers, as we had already discussed, so that they can take notice of you and your try to reach out to them. And also you have to position your email and subject line in such a way that they are actually losing something already, because losing something gets more attention than gaining something. So if I come and tell you that if you don't do this particular thing, you will lose 5,000 rupees or $100, versus if I say something like, if you do this, you will gain $100, then you will be naturally motivated to do the thing where you don't lose the $100 that you already have, right? That is a basic human tendency. We are less motivated by the things we will gain and more motivated to protect the things that we already have. So your title subject line should be something like, your website's SEO problems could be hurting your revenue, or this is how much you are possibly losing every month because of the less traffic that you have. Like for example, if you assume that um, a particular client's revenue is $10,000 a month, let's say a rough assumption, then if you see that their traffic could be increased by another 20% by doing some SEO tweaks, building a bit more backlinks and tracking the positions and improving the titles and meta tags, etc., then you can see that the amount of money that the client is losing because of bad SEO is like $2,000 a month. So your subject line could be something like, you are losing $2,000 a month due to poor SEO or bad SEO. So you have to capture their attention like that, where they are already losing something that they are supposed to have. So in such cases, they are more ready to respond and stop losing what they are already losing. So you should not send out a mail that your website will perform better with these SEO improvements, so that it is not motivating that much. So even when you look at our own health, right, if the doctor says that if you don't start exercising, you will start having back pain or something like that, then you are more motivated to start exercising than if a doctor says that keep exercising so that you are healthy. Then you are less motivated, because you are actually more motivated by the avoidance of pain than by gaining something that is out there, right? So that's some of the tips for doing email outreach or approaching the client. Even your sales pitch in the meeting should be like that, where you position it as if they are losing something already. So what are the action steps? Now that we have had a look at a lot of different concepts, let's look at the next action steps. So go ahead and identify companies that could benefit from SEO help. There is no right way to start, just get started. Eventually, you will find out that a particular segment of companies are actually your best clients, and you can then focus on that. But initially, you have to just go ahead and hit at different types of clients and try to get their response. Send out the emails as given in the template with your own modifications. The template you can download in this page below this video. And you can follow up with the emails that you send. You can use tools like Sware to set up follow-up emails. So you send out emails to 100 potential clients, they don't reply. In 3 days, you do a follow-up mail, and this can be automated using tools like Sware. I have written a review of Sware tool on my blog. The premium version of Sware costs something like around $12 per user per month, if I remember correctly, and there is a 30-day free trial for Sware as well. So you can go ahead and use a tool like that to do follow-up emails and try to get your first response and try to get your first meeting. So if you are sending out, let's say 50-100 emails, and if you are getting some 5-10 responses, then you are definitely doing something right. If you are getting 10 responses and if you are scheduling one meeting, then definitely you are doing something right. Don't worry about converting the client right now. Just worry about finding the companies and sending out an email and see if you are getting a response. And if you are getting a response, just focus on getting the first meeting. Then you are already way ahead of other people who are worrying about closing the final sale, right? So if you get to a meeting, then you will learn so much in that first meeting. You might not convert your client in the first meeting, but definitely you will learn a lot. Come back and share the learnings with me. If the client converted, then great. If the client did not convert, you can discuss with me, tell me what went wrong, and then we can fine tune our future approaches so that we can convert more clients. So thank you for watching this video, and all the best for starting an SEO agency and helping other businesses perform better in the search engines. So I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.